Today we are at the Village Center Dining and Community Commons, and we're upstairs in the dining center. I was a project manager that worked on the sustainability portions of the building, so I procured the solar PV and worked on the contracts and getting the ball rolling. One of the reasons that CU has a commitment to sustainability is we're an educational university, and there's over 30,000 students that attend here every year. So we have a great opportunity and actually an obligation to teach them about sustainability and to set a good example on how to protect our earth and keep things green. There's several educational components. First, the university's Energy and Utilities Department has a website with dashboards of all of the solar projects on campus, so you can see real-time data of the energy that the solar panels are producing. And then also in this building specifically, we have educational signage around the building to help the students understand all the sustainable features of the building. Our goal on this project was to have about 10% of the building's energy consumption to be covered by PV. And by energy consumption, we don't just mean electrical consumption, we're also looking at the cost of our steam and chilled water. We're financing this project through a PPA, or a power purchase agreement, so we pay the vendor that installed the panels for the energy that they're providing through the panels. We decided to use a PPA, or a power purchase agreement, because really it's the most cost-effective way for us to incorporate solar on our projects. So this way we don't have the big first-time cost that would be associated with our construction project. Because we're a university, we can't get the tax credits that private entities can get by using solar. So we transfer those credits over to the vendor that we're working with to help lower the cost of the energy. So we actually had to send out an RFP twice for this project. We first issued an RFP about a year and a half before this building was due to be completed, and we did not receive any proposals. And what we learned is it was just too early for the industry. Technology is changing so quickly, the panels are improving over time, and so nobody wanted to contract a year and a half in advance. So we waited a year, and then we issued a second RFP, and at that time we received 3 bids for the project. One of our biggest challenges on this project had to do with local building codes. So the State Buildings Program in Colorado oversees capital construction, and they require us to follow local municipality codes. And the City of Boulder, during the course of this project, adopted a code that requires us to use our wind load at 155 miles an hour. So the project was designed at 120 miles an hour, and we could not meet the 155 mile requirement. So it took quite a bit of negotiation to grandfather this project into the old code. One of our biggest lessons learned on this project had to do with the internal processes within the university. So developing a PPA contract, working with the local utility, and getting everybody on the same page on those contracts was really difficult, and it could have delayed the project. So one piece of advice I'd have is really try to get all of the stakeholders on board early, whether it be the folks that sign the contracts, working with your utility, even your legal department. Get them on board early in the process.